Well, guys, it's been another eventful week in nerd news. Let's check it out. First thing I want to start with is this month is Pride Month and there are many virtual events taking place. Listen, I hope everybody has a great celebration, but please just stay safe at home while you're doing so. You gotta remember through COVID times, we've given up birthdays and Christmas holidays. So hang your flags, rock those outfits, but please, let's just keep up those safe practices. There's plenty going on through the whole month and there's lots of ways to support Pride. So below I've posted a link on Fashion Magazine. There are dozens of events taking place this month virtually. So you can celebrate from home and celebrate the community. Now let's get on to some crazy news. I want to show you guys Adidas' latest collab with The Simpsons to give us the El Barto shoe. These came out this week and you can grab yourself a pair of these bad boys for 65 bucks on the Adidas website. Some even crazier news, and this is a real story, folks. This McDonald's chicken nugget that looks like an Among Us character sold on eBay for almost $100,000. It is so crazy to think people have bid this much money on a McNugget. So the nugget was sealed airtight and frozen, so it should be good after shipping, maybe, to eat. I don't know if I'd want to, though. Whoever bought this nugget needs to post a follow-up video for us. It's crazy. This isn't even the first time lookalike food has sold for a wild price. There was a Washington nugget that sold for $8 grand online. There was also a Cheese's pizza that made the market. But $100,000 for a nugget that actually looks like an upside-down Easter bunny. I need to start considering my career choices. Some more exciting news. LEGO has announced their first ever LEGOCon, which takes place virtually on June 26th at noon Eastern Time. So they'll have live entertainment and some exciting announcements, which can all be streamed directly through their website. Now here's the thing. There's a lot of rumors going around right now based on the company's choice and logo. So if you look at the colors, they're really similar to that of LEGO Dimension. And a lot of people are kind of getting hyped out about the idea of them announcing a second LEGO Dimension. I don't want to get my hopes up or anything, but definitely that would be so cool because the game was awesome and it was a bummer to see it discontinued. So I guess we'll just see on the 26th. Quick time, I just want to share the blizzard of the month with you guys. Girl Guide cookies? Yes, I'm in. If I try it, I'll share it with you guys. Actually, more in snack news. Doritos has once again released their ketchup Dorito. Only in Canada. Yeah, that's a thing here. We like ketchup chips. I love ketchup chips. That's a thing. Anyways, let's move on. So, Seth Rogen has announced details about the reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this tweet reveals one of his own sketches, and it's kind of really hard to determine exactly what's going on, but you can very clearly see the release date at the top there. So it seems like there's probably more details there. You can go ahead and try to decipher. But what we do know is that this is a CGI animated film that is going to be worked on with Nickelodeon and Paramount Pictures. And I guess we'll see in August. On the note of upcoming movies, let's take a quick second to talk about Jackass 4. There has been tons of drama lately and a lot going around about the movie set and the firing of Bam Margera. But recently, we just found out why the director decided to take out a restraining order against Bam. So apparently, the director made the request after Bam sent death threats to him and his family. Yikes. I just feel like the drama on set has gotten so out of control, and I don't really want to talk too much more about this, but I just really hope that Bam gets the help he needs. So anyways, it's unclear if Bam's initial footage is going to be part of Jackass 4, but that is set to hit theaters on October 22nd. I'm still really looking forward to this for all the wrong reasons. I mean, you just think a chunk of the cast is gone. A lot of them have kind of like cleaned up and gotten a little bit older. This makes you wonder how far they can even take things anymore. Next, we have new reports of a new Red Hot Chili Peppers album, but the leaks aren't coming from the band. Most of these spilt beans are coming from the guitarist Barber, who goes by the name of Shampulio. So on Instagram, Shampulio confirmed that there would be an album released this summer. I just can't quite get over the name Shampulio, though. That's a good one. That's really good. Next in music, the Smashing Pumpkins are coming out with an album, and it's going to include some never-before-released tracks. So this is called Live in Japan 1992, which features one of their old shows they did in 1992. The exact release date is yet to be announced, but it's looking like it will be sometime in the next couple months. Next in music is the 25th anniversary of Jagged Little Pill. Wow. I just aged myself, I think. So Alanis Morissette is set to start touring America August 12th, and she'll be touring through Europe through October and then next to Australia. But unfortunately, Canada is no longer on that list. Bummer. So everyone else enjoy, but please do post footage. Lastly, in music celebrations, tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of the Canadian Juno Awards. So this takes place online at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to see lots of celebrity appearances as well as performances, and you can stream that through any of the CBS websites as well as their YouTube page. Okay, moving on to streaming services. As usual, all the releases are in my previous videos for all the major streaming services. But first I want to talk about the new HBO Max ad-supported services that was just launched in America. So it's $5 cheaper, it's $10 a month to have ad-supported services, and apparently it's less than 4 minutes of ads per hour, so it doesn't really seem too conflictive. But the big downside to that is you no longer get the HBO exclusive titles. So example, like when Wonder Woman came out, that was a new release, you wouldn't be able to access the HBO Max features. So not being able to watch any of the new movie releases, I mean, it just kind of adds into my streaming expenses monthly. It doesn't seem like a big deal. So with the full HBO Max subscription, there's a few new releases coming out this year that are going to hit HBO the same day that they do theaters. Just this week, the third Conjuring movie was released, and that's the 8th of the series, and you can stream it now on HBO. I haven't watched this one in a while, but I just really like the story because they include Ed and Lorraine. And if you didn't know, they're actually real people who worked on real cases, such as, you know, this movie. And then there's also the Amityville Horror, and they were part of the Annabelle story, which I'm pretty sure is also in this series. There are a couple movies now, and those were all real documented reports. I think I'm going to watch it this weekend because now I got to catch up. Then this summer, we'll be able to stream Space Jam and the new Suicide Squad movie, which is the second movie. And that right there is worth my $5. And then later in fall will be the new Dune movie. And then in December, The Matrix 4. And then it seems like that's going to be the last of the home-released movies. I'm sure it's obvious how the movie theaters are suffering as a result of all these at-home releases. So recently, Warner Brothers made a deal with theaters so that there would no longer be same-day releasing. They've basically arranged a 45-day theaters-only window, which allows them to have screen time without any further competition from streaming services, and that looks like it's going to begin in 2022. Another HBO announcement is the official trailer got released for the new Gossip Girl series. So this is set to launch on July 8th, and apparently this is supposed to be a sequel rather than a reboot. And I think I've said enough there, so let's move on. Next in streaming, Netflix finally gave more details on that Geek Week event that they're having from the 7th to the 11th. So on June 7th at noon Eastern Time, you can tune into their YouTube channel. That's just one way to stream. So each day they're going to show us some first looks at some upcoming shows as well as some behind the scenes footage. So that's what we have to look forward to with Geek Week this week. Also announced this week, Season 10 of American Horror Story, which is going to be a big one. They're doing a double feature, which means there's 2 stories in one this time. And it looks like our celebrity of the season is going to be Macaulay Culkin. Also, alongside that this summer is going to be the release of the spin-off show, American Horror Stories, which is plural. And instead of following a whole story through the season, it's going to be a story per episode. So that kicks off July 15th, and they're going to roll the episodes out weekly until Halloween. So if you want to binge the first 9 seasons of American Horror Stories, there's that free trial of Hulu. So much surrounding Hulu lately, I'm starting to think I'm going to get a subscription. Also in newer streaming services, Paramount Plus is going to be releasing a new Mark Wahlberg movie this week. So this movie is called The Infinites, and it is based on the 2009 novel called The Reincarnationist Papers. I love Mark Wahlberg movies and movies that were adapted from books, so I just have a feeling this one's going to be good. So now, just like HBO, Paramount Plus is offering for a limited time ad-free services at a cheaper price, but it's kind of the same idea where you don't get all the access, so up to you. Some not so good news in streaming services is we have a couple cancellations that are a big bummer. The Order and Jupiter's Legacy have both been canceled from Netflix, so sorry guys. In lighter news, there have been more teasers on the upcoming Borderlands movie. So here we can see some silhouettes taken by Jamie Lee Curtis. She's been the photographer on set. and it just gives us a little sneak peek at some of the characters. So the Borderlands film that's expected to be released in 2022 is set in a parallel universe. So it makes it separate from the stories in the game, which could ultimately open up a whole new series, really. So more to be announced on that. Back to some bad news. EA has gone ahead and removed 5 Need for Speed games right out of the store. They're just gone. They were delisted and removed from digital retailers due to a low demand. Apparently, there just wasn't enough player engagement. So the games removed were Carbon, Undercover, Shift, Shift 2, and The Run. So those have already been taken off the store, and their online support will be done at the end of August. Just the real bummer here is there was no heads up. They didn't give any fair warning, they just pulled them. But they are working on a new game, so who knows what's going to happen now. Let's get the mood back up with EA. So the Apex Legends Global Championship Series is going to have a massive prize pool. EA put in $1 million to start, and they allowed crowdfunding, and they brought it up to $2.58 million. So the tournament is ongoing, and on June 13th, I guess we will see who wins the $2.5 million. That's going to be one of the biggest prizes they've ever given out at any event. More in gaming competitions, the EVO Online tournament will be kicking off on June 10th, and that takes place on PS4 and PC platforms. There is $74,000 in prize money to be won there. So the competition is going to feature a whole bunch of different games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and that's going to be ongoing for the next couple months. Another game series I just want to bring up quick is Warhammer. This week they had the Skulls Showcase where they announced so many new things. There were tons of new games on display. This is actually such a big topic that I'm just going to put a link below for you guys. So if you're a Warhammer fan, just check out the link below. Also this week in game releases, the new Phantasy Star Online will launch across all consoles beginning June 9th. Another new game is the Mario Golf Super Rush, and this one is ready for pre-order now, and it will be available June 25th. Also this week, the new Minecraft game, Cliffs and Caves, drops June 8th. And this one's going to be on all platforms, including mobile. And they're going to have some new blocks and a couple new mobs. And I guess there's a goat that's going to be really aggressive, so watch out. And lastly, Far Cry 6 pre-orders are available for its release on October 7th, and if you order now, there's plenty of bonuses at the moment. Also this week, ESO released a new DLC called Blackwood, and this is just another chapter of their ongoing theme, the Gates of Oblivion. There are still 2 more upcoming DLCs for this theme, so we have that to look forward to. So I just want to give a quick reminder that the Amazon Prime Day is set for next week, but there are live deals now. If you're a Prime member, you can get early deals. Also, Walmart went and announced their days of deals. That's going to be set for the 20th to the 23rd. And they did that last year too. When Amazon Prime made their announcement, Walmart just kind of came in and cut the grass. And then also this year in the running is Target. They've announced their deal days at the same time. Like, geez, pick your own holiday. Let's just move on to some really cool news. Hasbro is going to be re-releasing the real Ghostbuster toys from the 1980s. They're going to be including some really iconic figures like the Ecto-1, and they're also going to be re-releasing the Bug-Eye Ghost. And these are now available at Walmart. Some really exciting news is Nintendo is opening up a museum in Japan. And this is going to feature many of the Nintendo products that have been launched over the years, and they're hoping to have some demonstrative exhibits with some hands-on interactions. So this is a perspective image of what the building's to look like. It's predicted that the project's going to be finished around March 2024, but there's no date yet on when it's going to be open to the public. Another exciting announcement is that Dark Horse Comics has officially formed a division called Dark Horse Games. So they're looking to release games across all platforms, but what's especially exciting is that if all goes well, they're looking to open up kind of a universe. Just kind of like Marvel and DC where everything intertwines with one another. And there's been a lot of speculation about Hellboy, so maybe that could be one of their first releases. Moving forward, Warner Brothers just bought the Discovery Channel, so they've now become Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, there's no real inkling on if there's going to be any kind of program changes so far, but I just feel like this kind of lines up with Amazon buying MGM last week. There's just all these really dominant streaming services kind of bundling up all these different channels. Doesn't it just feel like we're buying satellite packages again? Okay, let's talk about Pokemon. So as we know, this weekend we have a Community Day event taking place in Pokemon Go. That's 11 to 5 your time. And there's a 99-cent ticket if you so desire. Then this week, there's a Slowpoke event that kicks off on the 8th. This is going to introduce new evolutions of Slowpoke as well as a Mega Evolve for him, and he will be featured in raids. As usual, there's exclusive research, but this time if you clear it, you're able to claim a Slowpoke t-shirt for your avatar. Next in nerd news, we just learned that Disney California has opened up a new area of their park, and it's the Avenger Campus, and it's got plenty of themed rides as well as a swinging Spider-Man through the park, and there's going to be lots of heroes walking around. There's even a magic show hosted by Doctor Strange, and it all sounds really cool, so if you're going, just please remember to be safe. Another really cool Marvel announcement is the new tabletop role-playing game. So that's set to launch in March 22 for a playtest, but won't actually roll out for purchase until 2023. So far, it seems like this game's going to allow you to play as one of the classic heroes, or you can create your own custom hero. It sounds like the gameplay is going to be really similar to D&D, but I guess we'll see this upcoming year. One final report for the week, and I'm going to leave it on a crazy note here. Sony has teamed up with a clothing team, and their name is Balenciaga. Their name is just too fancy for me to even pronounce. So they're selling PS5 clothing that are more expensive than a PS5. Just the t-shirt costs $675, and the baseball cap costs as much as a PS5. That's just so wild to me for such a simple design. Alright guys, that's all the nerd news we have for this week. So please subscribe for more weekly updates. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe out there.